Hello there, folks. Andrew Griffiths here. How you doing? It seems that right now there's this urgency about writing books, where it's all about writing a book fast, getting your book out fast, using AI to just churn something out, create a bizarre kind of AI cover, and get it out in a hurry. I personally, I've been writing books for decades and publishing books for decades. It was never really about writing a book fast. That's the bit that I kind of find a bit amusing now. It was always about writing and publish a book well, rather than just kind of looking at it as a speed item. And because there's this little bit of a mentality out there now that we can use tools that help us to get books out faster, it doesn't make books better. And in fact, that's part of the backlash now, is that there are a lot of books getting published that are really subpar. And it is all in an attempt to try and do this kind of haste thing. Again, from my experience, the best books are those that are deeply considered, that are well thought out, that are well researched, that are well planned, that are, the author has spent really, quite a lot of time deeply contemplating. For in many instances, a book can be the result of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years worth of work. That's where the humanity happens in books. That's where the profoundness comes out of books. That's where the thought provocation and the unique ideas and the challenging kind of ideas and views that a great book, a world-class book, actually creates, comes from. Not from an AI prompt, which is turning around and saying, well, okay, now we can get a book happening in a really quick way, but it is most definitely not making it happen in a better way. So why am I kind of recording this video? Quite simply to pose that thought that it is not about getting a book out fast. It is about creating a book that is world class. It's about creating a book that actually has substance. It's a book that matters, that is significant in some shape or form. So don't get caught up in this got to do it fast kind of mentality. I think about a book that landed on my desk recently from a guy that I coached 14, 15 years ago. And he sent me a copy of his book, and he said, it was really kind of interesting. After all of these years, the book came out, and I love that in reality, and because sometimes a book does take that amount of time to come out. But I know one thing for sure, that the book that he wrote now is far better than the book that he would have rushed out 14 or 15 years ago. Now, okay, look, that's a long wait. I'm not telling you to wait 14 or 15 years. I wouldn't have much of a business as a book writing coach if everyone took 14 or 15 years to write their book. But what I am saying is, get your priority right. Is your priority to get the book fast, or is your priority to create an extraordinary book? And that's where we've got to put our hand on heart. And I understand this sense, in a fast-moving world, it's also always a little bit about, oh, I'll miss an opportunity. This will happen. If that's how fleeting the opportunity was, that you're going to miss it because you don't get the book out tomorrow, then to be really honest, it's not much of an opportunity. When I'm thinking about writing a book, I don't really care about what else is going on out there. I'm writing the book to make sure that it's going to have substance for many years to come, not one that's going to get outdated in a matter of weeks or months, because that's too hard. Now, I do understand also some books are very topic specific, like these days around AI in particular. I've coached quite a few authors on AI books. They've got to be out in a hurry because the market is changing so fast. So sure, I do understand that. I understand that there are some exceptions to this, but even with those kind of books, a lot of the time, it's don't talk about the things that are kind of happening now that are going to be out of date in a week. It's talking about the strategies, the bigger picture, the thinking behind it, rather than writing stuff which the minute you press print, the book is going to be out of date. So anyway, you get the moral to the story here. If you're an author, if you're writing a new book, or if you're writing your first book, don't get caught up on this obsession with getting it out fast. Get caught up on the obsession of making it magnificent, of making it extraordinary, making it world class, making it, something that's of value to the world. That's how you're going to write and publish a book that is going to help you to build a business of substance around that book. okay? Not writing something just for the sake of speed. All right, that's it. Andrew Griffiths, over and out.